Yaha! I am back in Kagero Village, back at the desk, back with my compadres, and welcome back to another episode of... I do apologise, you've had to wait a little bit longer for this episode of Monster Hunter Monday. Can you believe it? In the past couple of weeks, a Chameleos, a Teostra, a Kushala, and a Basilgeuse showed up in the village. We've all been incredibly busy trying to fend them off. That actually sounds like the beginning of a bad joke. A Teostra, a Kushala, and a Chameleos walk into a pub. I don't know what the punchline is. Maybe one of you guys can tell me. Anyway, that being said, we are now back with your favourite show of the week. Keep in mind that Monster Hunter Mondays moving forward will not be every single week because you guys submit so many clips, so many sets, so many questions. There's a lot of stuff to go through. And honestly, my companions here, they can only go through so much at a time. So we will try and get this out as frequently as possible, but just note you might have to wait a little bit longer for future episodes. That being said, we're now back with lots of stuff to talk about this week. News, clips, monsters, so much stuff. So hold on to your horses and let's begin. First up in the news this week, while there haven't been any huge updates, keep in mind we are currently halfway through May, and Capcom did the other day put out a tweet on their Japanese account reminding everybody that the free Rise title update is still coming in May. They said it's scheduled for the end of May, and will bring a new ending and the addition of more monsters. They also said that as the decisive battle against the Rampage looms large, what fate lies ahead for Kagero Village. Please wait for future announcement details. Now, given that we are a couple of weeks away, if it follows anything like the previous formula, then I would expect potentially the last week of May us to have some sort of digital event, maybe on a Tuesday, with the update dropping the following day. So, safe to say, we shouldn't have to wait too much longer, and as and when we do find out, we'll keep you guys posted. However, in the meantime, don't forget, if you haven't picked it up already and you want some fancy new items, there is a new DLC bundle on the eShop. Yes, it will cost you some money, but if you want to dress up kind of like a pirate, you want a pet parrot for your owl, your Kahoot, and you want some more hairstyles and some face paint, still no beards, then the DLC pack is there for you to get. And also, as a final reminder, don't forget that if you are sleeping on Monster Hunter Stories 2, you can get this fancy, cool, layered armor for your character once the game comes out. So, I suggest you check it out.
How it feels to chew 5 gum. Stimulate your senses.
Now back with another handy tip of the week. For those of you guys looking for more Kagero points, whether you want to put them into the Argosy, into the Meowsnaries, into your training, maybe you just want to buy more items, then if you want to get some incredibly easily, what you should do is head on over to the Frost Islands, pick a high rank expedition, and go over to Area 11. You want to run to the end of the cave, basically over here by the edge of the water, and you'll find a collection of fish. And amidst this, there are some rather large fish, these ones right here, and if you get them, if you catch them, they basically respawn endlessly. There are varying different sizes, the smallest ones giving you around 256 Kagero points, meanwhile the supreme ones, the massive ones, giving you a whopping 500 points, or 520 something. Anyway, the point is, this is a very easy way to fish incredibly quickly, and in the space of about 5 to 10 minutes, you can easily get 10,000 Kagero points. Do keep in mind that if you want to be even more efficient, you can of course just go out and mine ore, but for those of you guys that want to take in the sights, do some fishing and earn some Kagero points at the same time, then this is an alternative. Alright, we are back again in my favourite part of the week. We are back in the clip kitchen to talk about some of the epic clips you guys have been submitting. You know what? The longer you have the game, the better these clips are getting. I have seen some incredibly inventive ones. In fact, this week features one of my favourite clips of all time. So, let's begin. First up, in a clip from Antoine showing Basilgeuse the real definition of an explosive finish. In this clip from Cosmic Coconuts, going for that hands-free victory. Cowstone Cream learns the hard way that the real enemy is not always right in front of you. Rajang out here playing Mortal Kombat with Dalgia.
Finish him. Fatality.
In this clip from Drig, Manny deploys the anti-air device. Funny Money with a dual blade masterclass in the corkscrew aerial takedown. What is better than one Metsu Shorigeki? The answer is 2 synchronized Shorigeki. In the middle of the hump with Lathius, Tomikadachi declares that he must go, for his people need him. Lost in Space discovers that Chameleos has a secret ability that we have not yet seen, Polymorph. Perhaps this should have been in this week's Who's That Monster? Next up, MH Akane with the true definition of a bullseye. I just want to play this back. This is my favourite clip I have ever seen. Like, literally setting up Bullfango to be a running explosive. That is incredible. I love it. It should go in the clip archives. It should go in the history books. Whatever it is, this is, it's going to be hard to top this one. Next up in this clip from Pobla, Volvidon was like, get off of me! Silver Kagato says, you shall not pass. And then finally, Safaru showing us that this is the easiest way to farm Lazarite jewels.
Guys, I have to take this moment to talk about something very serious. My Sword and Shield brethren, I'm sorry. I've been using the light bowgun. But it's just so much fun! No longer do I have to fight Teostra and get slapped every time.
Who's that monster? We'll reveal the answers at the end of the episode. Now we once again interrupt proceedings to go and take a visit to Kagero to take a look at what is on sale in the market. Oh, would you believe it? The Monster Bites are back in stock. You guys have been asking if there are some more on sale, and we do still have a limited quantity left. Keep in mind, there are only a few remaining, so you do need to be fast. But if you want to grab these collectible buddies for your cables, or just for your collection, then the Endgame store is linked down below. They are live right now. Now, time to get out the notebooks and once again learn about a new monster. In this week's monster highlight, we are talking about our good friend Almudron. Maybe not a good friend when you're fighting it, but regardless, a fantastic new monster. Almudron is also known as the Hermit of the Swamp. It is a Leviathan first introduced in Monster Hunter Rise. The physical design for this actually draws inspiration from Chinese dragons, as indicated by its 5 front toes, whiskers, and mammalian nose. However, in Japanese folklore, it is based off of the Dorotabo. Dorotabo is a mud spirit that emerges from the rice paddy's murky mud, and while not completely dangerous, his appearance of being aged, bald and apparently blind in one eye may frighten some people. They are typically seen as transformed ghosts of old men who toiled so hard on their rice fields only to see them lie in waste by neglectful owners after their death. As a result, they appear as these one-eyed, 3-fingered humanoid figures that rise out of the mud at night. It's said that the 5 fingers of the human hand represent the 3 vices and the 2 virtues: anger, greed, ignorance, wisdom, and compassion. The ghostly Dorotabo appears with only 3 fingers representing the vices because he is a spirit of vengeance and rage, angry at the vices which now shame his life's work. Dorotabo typically roam the overgrown fields, calling out in mournful voices, "Give me back my rice field." They haunt their fields night after night, preventing sleep and otherwise causing feelings of unease to the new inhabitants of their lands. They continue haunting until the wasteful owners change their ways or give up and flee, selling the field to someone who will take proper care of it. So basically, Almudron just wants you to take care of your rice. Now we are once again back in the Monster Hunter Stories 2 section to take another look at this game. Today it's important that you learn your attack types. There are 3 attack types in Monster Hunter Stories: Power, Speed and Technical. The attack type you select during battle will help determine the outcome of a head-to-head, just like in the previous game. Monster attack patterns have been refined this time around, however, to be easier to understand, so that way you know what to pick. Keep an eye on your opponent's fighting style and tailor your moves accordingly to achieve victory. For attack types, Speed will beat Power, Technical will beat Speed, and Power will beat Technical. By predicting your opponent's attack type and winning a head-to-head, you can inflict massive damage as well as greatly filling up your kinship gauge, which will of course lead to some of those spectacular super abilities. Understanding which attack type to use is crucial to succeeding in battle. Monster attacks are also not limited to one set pattern, and they may change depending on the situation. So if a monster changes form, becomes enraged, or performs certain actions, you will need to adjust your combat strategy, and of course the attack type that you decide to use in order to adapt to this new pattern. Keeping this in mind is going to be crucial to mastering the combat system in Stories 2. So there we have it, we have once again come to the end of another episode of Monster Hunter Monday, but before we go any further, did you guess? Who's that monster? If you guessed Kezu, you're right. But once again, fear not if you got it wrong, you clearly are not yet a seasoned veteran hunter. But you can try again next episode. For the time being, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you want to submit your clips, as always, you must join the Discord. The link to that is in the description box down below. Join the Monster Hunter channels, get involved, submit your clips, your questions, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. If you want to catch more from us at Arekkz Gaming, don't forget you can catch the guys 269 and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch weekdays, playing a variety of games. If you guys want to jump in, tune in, watch and even join in, then make sure you check them out. The links to those are in the description box down below, and of course you can join the Discord to get involved in all of the discussions.